everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a little video about what YouTube made me buy and whether or not I like the products that I bought. Some of these are going to be a little bit of a recap over some of my faves and fails, and some of them won't be, some of them will be new items. So I just wanted to make this pretty quick. I just was looking around at my makeup and realized that there were so many things that I purchased because YouTube told me about it, and that's not always the best idea. Why don't we go ahead and get started? Okay, so first thing I'm gonna go over are a couple of eyeshadow palettes and some eyeshadow. So one of the first things that I purchased recently, like within the past couple of months, is the Too Faced White Chocolate Chip Palette. I purchased this because one of my favorite YouTubers said she loved it, and that worked really well if you were fair and loved cool tones. It does have quite a few shades in here. A good portion of them are shimmery, and then it looks like there's 4 mattes in there with this lovely base color being super large. So that's really nice. Now, I do find that the black is extremely pigmented. The silver's nice, the pink is nice. But like the one that I really wanted was the silvery purple shade. It just doesn't come off looking anything like it does in the palette. It comes off more gray than anything. I was really wanting something with a slight purple. The colors are okay. I mean, you can see that I have barely touched this palette, and that's because the quality is just okay. It's nowhere near as great as my Sweet Peach palette. It's right on, it's a little better than the Natural Love palette, it is, but it's just okay, and I liked it enough to keep it, thinking that when I travel, this is something that's easy and I can get dramatic and subtle looks out of it, but it's just not that great. If you're wanting big, bold colors, just skip over this. It's not going to give you that. I think it would have been better if it was cheaper. This was in the $20–$25 price range. If you find it on sale, yeah, go ahead if this is the kind of palette you're into. If not, just skip it altogether because it's really not worth it. The next eyeshadow palette is one that I think I've brought up on a fails video in the past. It is the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette. I won't go into too much detail because I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but I purchased this once, returned it because I didn't like it, and then decided to go back and give it another shot because I saw one of my favorite YouTubers talking about it again, and it just made me re-love the idea of it. And in the end, it was a wonderful repurchase. I love this palette. I've learned to work with it. The super pigmented blends well. The dark colors come off a lot more similar when you put them on your eye, when you blend them out, if that makes sense. So it's not like the best thing in the world, but I do really like this palette. So then the next one is going to be the Stila, what do they call these? Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow eyeshadows. These totally caught my attention because that whole metallic sort of phase was going on, and I think it's starting to fade out now because summer collections are coming out, or I guess we're gearing up for fall maybe, I'm not sure. But I have it in Rose Gold and Diamond Dust. Diamond Dust is the one that I saw a couple of my favorite YouTubers talk about, and then I found the Rose Gold whenever I was in store. You can see they are super pigmented, super metallic, absolutely wonderful colors. They go on really well on your eyes. They just look beautiful on. However, I find that there's a lot of fallout. No matter the primer, no matter the setting spray I use, I always have glitter down my face. I have it less with the Rose Gold than I do with the Diamond Dust, because the Diamond Dust has way more glitter. It's almost straight glitter, whereas the Rose Gold actually has pigment to it. You can see when I rub my finger over it, you can see all that glitter. That's pretty much all that silver one is. Yeah, and then the gold has the pigment. You can see that there clearly. So I mean, they're okay. I would honestly stay away from the Diamond Dust, and they have a couple others that are straight glitter. And if you're wanting to try these, go with one that actually has color to it because it doesn't have as much fallout, and I feel that they go on and look a little less chunky. But they're okay. I don't regret purchasing them. I use them occasionally. I can definitely see using the glittery one for maybe cosplay or something in the future, but they're not something I would go out and purchase any more of. So then the next products I'm going to talk about are a couple foundations. These were in my, I know I have one of my favorites and fails and one in my Battle of Foundations videos. By the way, I'll throw all these up in the cards in case you're wanting to see, but it's the No. 7 Stay Perfect foundation, and then the e.l.f. Flawless Finish foundation. The number perfect, the number 7 Stay Perfect is my favorite foundation right now. I'm loving this. It looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but I'm finding that it's oxidizing a little bit. So it's still in the lightest shade, Calico, it's still just a little too dark. So I'm trying to find something to mix into it that will lighten it up just a smidge. Maybe whenever I get a little tanner throughout the summer, it will work, but it is my everyday foundation, and you only notice the color difference in the sunlight, but it's amazing. It really is transfer proof, and it does last all freaking day. This is just my favorite foundation of the moment. And then the e.l.f. Flawless Finish, it's just okay. The shade is actually better for my skin tone than the Calico on the number 7. This is just okay. It's not the best in the world. It's not the worst in the world. For $6, it's not a bad buy. I have worn this a couple of times this weekend just because I was going to be outside and it matches my skin tone a little more, and I didn't regret it. I find it does work better if you do use a setting powder with it and a proper primer. The Tarte Tinted BB Primer, what is it? It's what's it called? This stuff, if you can see that. This is the Tarte BB Tinted Treatment Primer. This stuff is amazing for these foundations, and it has made this e.l.f. one work a lot better. So my opinion is starting to change on that one a little bit. And then a couple of face products, which I'm going to throw some concealers in here under face products. One is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Concealer. I don't think I've spoken about this before. This is a lovely, creamy, lightweight concealer. It does work really well for hiding the dark circles, and it doesn't feel super gunky or like you have a ton of product on, and you can just dab it on and smooth it out. It feels very hydrating, and I like this. It does not sink into the creases or any fine lines that you may have under your eyes if you set it with a powder pretty quickly after putting it on, or what I typically do, because I don't like to put powder under my eyes, I'll just let it fall into the creases, and then I'll just dab my fingers across it and I'll smooth that right out, and then I don't have a problem the rest of the day. So I find that this is great. I wear the shade Fair Light, and then the other concealer that I purchased because everyone was talking about was a Tarte Shapetape concealer, and everyone at Ulta was talking about this. And I also brought this up in a previous video. It's great at first, but it's super thick, and I feel like over time this just gunks up and gets way too thick to wear. So I won't, I might repurchase it. Right now I'm kind of leaning towards no, because I really like this one. But it was worth a try. And if you are really concerned about dark circles under your eyes, like, this will help, or if you're trying to cover up any sort of blemish, this does work really well for that. And then another face product, which I just talked about on my Face and Fails video for May, is the Becca highlighter in Prismatic Amethyst. Everyone has been talking about this for months, and I finally went out and purchased it, and I do not regret it because I love this highlighter so much. And then there is one new product that I just purchased. It is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the color Celestial. This is a liquid highlighter. I believe they also said that you can mix it in to products to give you more of a glow, but I'm going to be using this beast as just a highlighter, as well as a for eyeshadow, because when I was swatching this in Ulta, it just seemed like it would work really well as an eyeshadow. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It gives you this beautiful sheen, and it looks almost silver with maybe a hint of purple. It could just be the lighting, but you can see how that could just be a lovely, lovely eyeshadow right on the lid. I think it'll be a wonderful highlighter once I figure out how to put it on lightly and not super dramatically like it is on my hand, but it's just wonderful. I was really, really excited to try this. It's a little on the pricey side, but I could not walk away. Seriously have a problem. And then there's going to be one more thing I'm going to talk about. It's actually another eyeshadow palette, but I saved it for the end because I have mixed feelings on this. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I actually purchased this months and months ago, and every time I stuck my brush in a foundation, in one of the pans, the foundation would just crumble. absolutely crumble, which was a shame because these colors are gorgeous. This works perfectly for fair complected people like me, for hazel eyes and brown eyes. The berry colors just look so beautiful. But I had specifically, it was the Tempura, which is this shade right here. I had it for a week or so. I used it 3 times and I hit pan. It had crumbled so much. I could stick my brush in it and just do this and you just see all this powder and chunks come up. One of you recently commented on my last video that I should give this another try. Maybe I got a bad one, which is very possible. I did order it online. Perhaps shipping caused some sort of damage to the product that I didn't notice before. So I did repurchase it today, mainly because Ulta is doing 5 times points on Anastasia Beverly Hills products, and I have been on the fence about giving this another shot. So we'll see how this one goes. I am excited to have it back, but I'm hoping it's better quality than the last one that I had. So yeah, those are my products that YouTube made me purchase within the past few months. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!